Hey, what's going on, Aquarius? How are you? Aquarius, you guys, you already know how much I do appreciate your time and your energy. Thank you so much for coming back, and welcome if you're here for the first time. Aquarius, this is going to be your end of March reading for 2019. So it's going to roughly cover the 16th through the 31st of March of 2019. Now, this will be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If the messages don't resonate to you, then I just encourage you not to force the messages, okay? Just check out your moon, rising, or Venus if it's not fitting, or check out the many other awesome YouTube readers out here, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards from the Black Moon Astrology deck just to get a general overview. I'm keeping the same format for the first part of March, okay? Universe, please tell us what aspects of yourself will be showing up in the second half of March for Aquarius for 2019. And all of a sudden, the cards just got really sticky. Okay, Aquarius, we got one card. So what is it? Okay, we got the ninth house, faith. All right, we got the ninth house, faith, card number 33. Okay, so really potent energy I want to feel. I feel like for a lot of you, you know, your intuition is going to be, you know, kind of tapped into. For a lot of you, I feel like any like special skills that you have, you know, like for some of you, you may be skilled a little bit in like you know, in some of the mystic arts, you know. For a lot of you, you may be kind of tapping into that energy. For a lot of you, you know, it's just maybe calling for you to have faith throughout this time frame. So something may be calling on you to just have a lot of faith. For a lot of you, I don't know, for a lot of you, you might be kind of getting into a lot of like esoteric, sort of, you know, kind of like esoteric sort of vibes. I don't know, for a lot of you, you might be dealing with karma. For some of you, honestly, you may be like traveling. I feel like a lot of you are going to be traveling to different places. You're gonna be trying to get knowledge. You're gonna be trying to get understanding from different places that you're not used to. So yeah, all of that. And then it is 33, so it is like a master number. So a lot of you is definitely, you're on this particular path for a reason. So whatever's happening around this time frame is definitely for a reason, and the situation is definitely causing you to have a lot of faith. And that's faith in whatever it is that you believe in, whether it's God or the universe or your spirit guides or, you know, your own powers and connections to this physical plane, you know, however that fits to you. But let's see what the tarot has to add here. Okay, Spirit says to give one more good shuffle. Alrighty. Aquarius, second half of March 2019, general. Let's see what the strongest message is for you. And then our card under the deck we will put there. All right. So central energies moving through the second half of March is the alchemist or the magician. Wow, Aquarius. So you guys are really manifesting. You guys are really putting in work. You're studying hard. You're using all the tools that are available to you at your disposal. You know, you guys are really, really putting in this work. You really, you know, you've identified an area or something that you want to move forward towards. And now with the alchemist or the magician being card number one, you are stepping into it. You're moving into it. You know, you're gaining access, you're gaining experience, you know, and you see where you want it to take you, and you're implementing those ideas to make sure that you get there. And you're putting so much energy and so much passion into it, and so much care behind it. You guys are really trying to make a change. You guys are really trying to make a change. And I like this coming out of the gate. The card representing their past energies here is the Hierophant. Okay, so I feel like, yeah, I feel like this is something that you're committed to doing. You've made a commitment to yourself. Again, we have the Faith card here, and the Hierophant would be representative of, I feel like, the card of faith, because sometimes it can represent, you know, like certain religious aspects or certain, you know, fundamentals that you've, you know, grown up with, you know, from a kid to now. You know, the Hierophant to me represents all of that. So I do feel like, yeah, I do feel like you've really committed yourself to making some sort of change or some sort of something happen. And I like that, because what it tells me here is that it tells me that you have already been having some particular faith, or you've been praying, you know, something, you've been doing something very religiously, very routinely, very with the idea of, if I do this and continue to do this, I will reap good things from it. Like, that's the faith, that the level of faith that you have behind trying to make this particular thing come about. Your present energies is the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, so with the present energies being the Four of Pentacles, I feel like for a lot of you, in doing this, you kind of have maybe closed yourself off to, like, either receive help from others or to receive any sort of, like, resources. But at the same time, I think that you're doing it to either, like, reserve your own resources, you know, and you're just making sure that, you know, what you have is what you have. Like, you've reached a level of stability, or you're trying to reach a level of stability to where, you know, you don't have to ask anyone for anything. And, you know, if someone was to come to you asking you for something, it would be your decision on whether or not, you know, if you want to be able to help. I also get the feeling that I also get the feeling that where you're trying to go is where you're trying to. Some of you maybe, like, you aren't yet at that Four of Pentacles, and that's exactly where you're trying to be. Is you're trying to be a little bit more stable, if you're not already. But for a bunch of you, I do feel like, you know, you have reached stability to a certain degree, to where it's like, okay, now I can, you know, really, now I have enough to really be able to manifest what it is that I want to manifest. Your future potential energies is the Death card. So interestingly enough, I actually like this card right here in this position. This is your your potential future energy, the way it could be lined up for you. So there is a transformation that's occurring, a definite transformation. You guys are whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, I do believe that through that faith and through being steadfast for a lot of you, that transformation does occur. However, for some of you, I feel like you may be kind of holding on a little bit to, like, you may be kind of holding on, not to necessarily the past, but just kind of holding on to just, again, your own fundamentals. So like, sometimes like the thing that allows us to not progress and to not change or transform is, kind of trying to stick with the old traditions about certain things. And yeah, it's still great to have traditional values, but not all the time, and not to say all the time. It's like sometimes when you're trying to shake things up, I feel like that point kind of eluded me. So don't hate me, Aquarius. Don't say he's a bad reader. No, like that point just kind of eluded me. What I really feel though is I really feel like there is a change that's coming. There's a transformation that's coming now. Are you going to allow that to happen though with the Four of Pentacles? Are you going to allow that to happen with the Hierophant and because these cards represent stability, and then these cards represent you trying to manifest, and then this one represents that manifest is coming, that change is coming. So, a lot of you may just be, your faith may be tested this second half of the month because you're trying to decide if you should allow the complete transformation to occur. Underlying issues here is the Six of Cups. So there's something about your past. Something or someone from your past is kind of resurfacing now, kind of maybe getting in your ear, or getting in your head, or better yet, getting in your heart with the cups. I think that a lot of you are trying to find the more like childlike aspect of certain things. I think that a lot of you, don't necessarily want to take something completely seriously. And it's like, you're kind of having to kind of change your heart space about it a little bit. So this could be speaking about a commitment to someone from the past. Maybe they're going to be resurfacing. Mercury is coming retrograde, so pretty soon. So there may be some people from the past resurfacing. Maybe an old lover, maybe an old, old relationship that may be promising that they've changed. You may have been committed to that person in the past, and but at some point, you kind of really had to shut down on them. Or with this Lovers card, there's a particular choice that you're going to have to make. Maybe it can be, between, where you are right now and then your potential future. That choice where you've manifested this beautiful future that allows you to be able to grow and transform. However, there's still the aspect of all of your traditional values or your fundamental values, or, maybe the people that you, or maybe people or situations that you have already committed to is like, well, where does that leave them? Queen of Swords. So there's your energy, really, Aquarius, where you really begin to make certain decisions. I think that there's a little bit of fear here because with the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords, she definitely makes her decisions, based off of what is going to serve her for the higher good or him for the higher good, right? However, she is still, I do see her as still being compassionate and still being capable of being loved or lovable. But, she's been hurt. She's been, stabbed in the back, and she's not going to allow that to happen again. Okay. So for some of you, I know Aquarius, this is kind of all over the place, but for some of you, I do see it where, you know, it's like you are going to be making a choice to move forward and to transform into or towards what you have ultimately been trying to manifest. And I think that what a lot of you have been trying to really manifest is there's something like there's some sort of past element to yourself that you've been really trying to get out, or that you've been really trying to, like there's some sort of like nostalgia that you guys have during this time frame. And it can either hurt you or it can either help you, is how I feel here with the Lovers card. So let's look at the outcome. So the Eight of Wands. So communication, back and forth communication, travel. Definitely travel. And I think I mentioned that a little earlier here with the Faith card. So I think a lot of you are going to be really really making that decision to move fast towards what it is that you have been trying to manifest. You know, a lot of you with the Death card and the Eight of Wands, I do see a lot of travel, a lot of, you know, a lot of coming and going, a lot of back and forth. But it's because you made it happen, though. You know, you made that change happen. I think that a lot of you have been doing, like I said, a lot of you have been doing a lot of praying, a lot of, you know, focusing, maybe even a lot of like, you know, just, you know, I don't want to say shadow work because that's not, but light work. There we go. You know, a lot of you have been doing a lot of that, you know, to make sure that you know, get what it is that you want this time. You know, maybe at some point in the past, I feel like you may have not gotten what it was that you wanted. And that kind of runs in the back of your mind. So as an adult or as of lately, it's like you've been like, okay, well, what can I do to be able to like get myself on the path or on a certain right path? Not that you've been on a wrong path, but I think that you're just looking to shake it up. You're really just looking to shake it up. And then there's the Ten of Wands. Okay, so I feel like it kind of comes full circle here. You have from the 1 to the 10. Okay, so there's definitely from that 1 to that 10, there's definitely that transformation. And then we have 11. We got transformation, and then we got 11 over here with the Lovers. So, and then we got the 33 here. So there's a lot of duality, Aquarius, here. I'm not even gonna lie. And then we got the 2 keys. There's a lot of duality here. There's a lot of, again, back and forth. There's a lot of should I or shouldn't I? Like, I'm in a position to, but I'm also in a position not to if I want to. You know what I mean? But I think that a lot of you, however that fits to you, again, I know this is kind of all over the place, but I do feel like Aquarius, through like this particular, whatever particular faith that you've been putting in a situation, whatever prayers you've been sending up, whatever affirmations you've been sending up, it's definitely been doing the trick. Okay. You're definitely manifesting something. You're definitely manifesting a particular change. But the choice of the matter here is, you know, am I going to allow it to, you know, am I going to allow the things from the past to affect me, how they affected me before? Or am I going to go ahead and just continue to press forward? And I do see that a lot of you are pressing forward, and it puts you right at the end of some sort of cycle, or at the end of some sort of responsibility. So with this 10 of Wands, yeah, it's, you know, it may be a little bit heavy, it may be a little bit hard. You know, the decision that you have to make, or the work that you have to do once you do make this decision, it may seem kind of hard. It may seem kind of daunting, but hey, you still have that faith. You know what I mean? You still have your faith. Keep that faith going, like the way you've been going. And, you know, you're right there at the end. You're right there at the end. You're right there at success. because the end doesn't necessarily mean a failure or an ending per se, but it does represent success. I do see with the Ten of Wands. So let's get 3 cards here from the Rider Waite or the Radiant Waite deck. So we've got the Devil card. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to be having to like fight certain addictions, whether that's like drugs, sex, alcoholism, or what have you. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is definitely someone who kind of really looks out and sees what it is that they need to do, and more so not necessarily what it is that they need to do, but what it is within themselves that they need to move forward with, so that they can, put effort into, their particular actions. Definitely someone who is I'll say kind of quite lucky, and also like admired, bright, and then the Eight of Wands again. So again, travel. A lot of traveling. So the Devil, the Queen of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. So yeah, I think that for a lot of you, there's like kind of like this, maybe this dark moment that you could kind of find yourself in, where you're like, things seem a little bit depressing or maybe a little bit too daunting. You kind of, maybe some of your first instincts will be to, kind of, again, go back to the fundamental things that have kept you closed off and kept you from not transforming. But just through recognizing your own light and recognizing that, you really are loved and actually revered, I think that a lot of you will, again, move forward with the Eight of Wands, with traveling, putting effort into, coming back and forth. I just really feel like this is a big month for travel for you, or this time frame is a big time for you to be getting news about traveling, about some sort of change that you're making. And you put in all the work, you put in the hard work to make this change. You put in the hard work, you had the faith. So yeah. All right, and from the Madame Endura fortune cards, just to give us some navigational energy, we have the Fire card. Reckless actions lead to conflict. So this is basically just a reminder, I feel like, from Spirit, just to say, you know what, yeah, you're definitely making things happen. You're definitely making things move and shake. But just keep in mind that, the things that you decide to do, make sure that they are well thought out with the Queen of Swords. Make sure your decisions are well thought out, because, it speaks to the Queen of Wands as well, because this is that fire energy. So the Queen of Wands definitely wants to move, but she also has to understand that she has to do it very, she has to do it in a very smart way. And so this is what this Fire card represents. Reckless actions leads to conflict. Make sure that you do things in a very smart way. Don't just shoot from the hip, because the opportunity is there. Just make sure you think about what you are doing, okay? But other than that, Aquarius, again, I know that this is kind of all over the place, this reading, but it is a great reading. It's a great time for travel, great time for transformation, great time for manifesting, great time for decision making. You're going to be doing a lot of that throughout the second half of March and maybe leading into April, okay? So with that being said, Aquarius, let me know how this works out in the comment box below. You guys know I appreciate your time and your likes, your comments, and your subscribes. If you haven't subscribed already, I do invite you to. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can. All the information will be linked down in the description box, all right? So Aquarius, you have yourself a great rest of your March. Bye.